My dad told me about Rodigan. I don't know nothing.
Yeah, I don't know much of.
Well, you know, Rodigan has been around for a very, very long time, championing sounds and stuff, and I suppose in a way he deserves the award because it's being given to the British establishment, and they don't have much to go on when in terms of the real facts about reggae music. All right, so first of all, I would give their researchers the sack, because it's not like I don't want him to have the award, because he's been there, he's put his work in and all of that. But in my mind, there are so many other people that can get an award as well, if not instead.
Oh, well, controversy already, Elaine. Listen, me personally, I think it's a well-deserved award. I think Sir David Rodigan, Ram Jam himself, has been a pioneer of Jamaican music for decades without let up, without taking his foot off the. You know, he's been a purist for the music. He's been a pure ambassador for the music. I don't think there's any bad word out there as regards to David Rodigan's love and passion for the music. So I think this order of distinction, what he's got from Jamaica for the international promotion of Jamaican music, that's what it's for. You can't dispute that. The man's been all over the world.
This is why.
So I think in that instance, because I've seen things going around on WhatsApp saying that, you know, we should have David Rodigan's award should be taken back from him. And I think, you know what, shame on the people who started that nonsense. Now, your argument is a good argument. There are other people who should also be recognized, but not instead of David Rodigan. It should be an addition. It shouldn't be. We should never, and we need to stop this as black people, saying that just because one person's got something and we think somebody else may be more deserving, that this person who's been recognized should be stripped of it. We should say this person's been rewarded, and now these others should too. And that's what I think. Well deserved, David.
Yeah, I agree with that. But let the record stand and stood that I didn't say he should be stripped of it.
Okay, cool.
And I did say, you know, instead of all right. And I say that because, you know, when you talk about, and you did say for the export or international promotion of reggae music, and I would say, what about Stone Love? What about these sound systems when we didn't have radio and actually reggae music was firing on all cylinders out of Jamaica through the sound system era?
I disagree again, Elaine, because you see, like when we have an award ceremony, like the Oscars, for example, and you know Denzel Washington wins the award for best male actor, we don't say, oh well, you know what about Will Smith? What about Lawrence Fishburne? What about? We recognize that person for the award that they've been given.
I didn't say that I'm not recognizing him for that.
But then we shouldn't be talking about Stone Love and anybody else. We should be just talking about celebrating David Rodigan.
But
we should just be.
But don't forget. No.
Go on.
No. You can't say we shouldn't be having a conversation about this. We should absolutely be having a conversation about this. Absolutely having a conversation about this. Not about stripping him of his award, but also shedding light on other people and other vehicles where reggae music has come up.
Well, you know, then I think the conversation should therefore be, then let's recognize and celebrate David Rodigan. Let's talk about his achievements.
Which we gave him a round of applause.
No, a round of applause is not enough. A round of applause is not enough. No way. It's not enough. We should be talking about how he started and back in the day. And if anybody's name should be mentioned, it should be, what's his name? The guy who was, because back in the day, there was only David Rodigan and
Steve
Tony.
Barnard,
No, the two.
Steve Barnard.
Go on, and who?
And then Tony Williams.
Tony Williams, we should be talking about. Because that's how far back we're going. See, remember, these are the names that we should be talking about and hailing up as well, alongside David Rodigan. And then we can go along the journey, and then we can start mentioning the Stone Loves and all the others afterwards as well. But I think first and foremost,
we have to recognize the champions for who they are.
and what they've received, the award they've received. That's just
when
my
did
thoughts,
you
man.
start? No. When you were little, growing up, did you listen to reggae music?
Of course, yeah. I had no choice. My father would play it, and that's it. I couldn't play what I wanted to play in my household. You're mad.
And how old are you?
Old enough
young are you?
old enough to remember David Rodigan, Tony Williams.
When did you start?
I grew up in Kensal Green, so we had record shops at the back of my bedroom. Yeah.
Venture Records. Yeah.
So I heard all of that music coming through in my bedroom. So I had no choice but to listen to reggae music and to love it.
Now
it's
you
part of our
see, this
culture.
is the difference. It's because you have no choice. But this is in my blood per se, and a lot of people's blood who actually was, our breast milk was reggae music. Do you understand? And I can't help thinking that kisses go by favors where this is concerned. And I will say it again, there's no way I want to strip him of his award, because I saw it with my own two eyes, the amount of work that he's put in. And let's face it, for a white man to go into the reggae industry where a weak heart cannot sustain a career in the reggae industry, they can't. Well, he's managed to do it. However he's managed to do it, he's managed to do it. All right. And he fills arenas. He filled the Royal Albert Hall just recently. And even then, Rodigan, I'll tell you direct, Rodigan, that, you went into the Royal Albert Hall celebrating reggae music, and your musical director was somebody who was about as young as my son. And for the years that you've been in the music industry, tell me you couldn't find a musical director that can play the music backward, right? And that's who you presented us with to present and celebrate reggae music. Carry on with your argument.
It's not an argument; it's a point of view.
No. Carry on with your. Well, we're black. We're
it's a point of view.
We're point of view mean argument still, but it's like if my mother says to me 9 o'clock at the night, she says to me, "Ilian, make me a cup of tea," and I go and bring her tea. She'll say, "What this you bring me? I want chocolate." Because thing named tea. Do you know what I mean? That's how we talk, right? So what I'm saying is, right, no gesturing, no thing. I was disappointed when I saw that, and I don't think that can be justified to me or anybody that grew up on reggae milk as a staple diet. Reggae milk. That's a good one.
Reggae milk. Reggae milk. I like reggae milk. Yeah.
Reggae milk. Reggae music ain't something to be just taken as something light, right? Reggae music was our news. It carries a lot of social issues and banter. And, that's how, when we were growing up, we knew about ourselves through reggae music. Do you understand what I'm saying? We knew about ourselves through reggae music, coming out of Jamaica. And then we here in the UK built our own brand of reggae music called Lovers Rock. The generation after us used reggae music in jungle. Reggae music is so dear to me, right? So dear to me that I don't want anyone taking the Riley out of it. Do you understand? So when you're talking about giving out awards, I need to see another one go to several rightful owners. Do you understand? I'm not saying he didn't put the work in. He did put the work in. Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking about him, you know. But what I am saying, all right, there are other names that could have been called as well.
Okay. Tony, I mean, I say you love reggae music. What's your thoughts on this, bruv?
Well, I mean, I don't think anybody can deny Mr. Rodigan's talent and his dedication to the music. But it's quite interesting that he should receive an award which is actually strictly for Jamaicans. So the Order of Distinction medal is actually for Jamaicans only. Okay. So that in itself is very interesting. But my problem really with all of this is that this is just part of a long history of black people creating things and then, getting a white figurehead to represent it. We can go back to Elvis Presley, you know, who imitated the great Roy Hamilton, and Otis Blackwell, who sung his songs for him, and then Elvis just sung over it. If you got anybody goes on YouTube and listen to Roy Hamilton, you'll see where Elvis got his style from. You could look at Eminem, you know, who's now known as the rap god. Tim Westwood, who's the head of, you know, hip hop and.
All right, so, you're going too far now. You're going too far now. When you start talking about Timothy, you're going too far now. You're going too far. All the other names I can deal with. Elvis, he was on top of it. When you start talking about Timothy now, why? Yeah.
Very much of the Bible verse which says that you will plant the vineyard, but you will not eat the fruit.
See it there,
right? So it's not a question of the man's talent. And if you look back into the history with Rodigan, right? I remember just before he started his Reggae Rockers show back in, I think it was '79. Capital Radio sent him to Jamaica, right? And he was paid for him to go and meet all the reggae artists, to go and introduce himself. He was taken under the wing of a DJ called Mikey Dread, who showed him how to do all the jingles on him. Radigan, I put on the pressure. He met all the artists that did all the jingles for him, and he brought that all back, and then he played that to us, and that was a wonderful thing that we all heard. Sound system man like Coxon brought him into dances, showed him the ropes, blah blah blah. And now my issue is, and I think, and this is a point that even Coxon himself, Lloydie Coxon, mentioned, was that, you know, Rodigan is now referred to as the godfather of reggae music, right?
Well, I don't know who calls him that, but I wouldn't call him that. I wouldn't go that far.
But this is the reference, right? So
who calls him that? Where does that reference come from?
Well, there was a show called Daily Politics, right, which he was on, right, and he was referred to as a godfather, ambassador of reggae music.
I've seen it as well. Right?
I can understand about ambassador, but godfather. Who I can see that there's a lazy researcher at BBC or ITV who might want to try and give him that title, but they don't hold no weight and no status within reggae music. So we don't accept that title.
So, but going back to my point is that it's not so much the man himself. It's the plot that whenever Black people create something, right, it's important for them, right, not for them, but for the powers that be, who basically run distribution and run the promotion of the music. So basically have the white figurehead who's out there pushing that music, right? And obviously they put the work in, and obviously they then get the rewards. But
I would agree with that. Sorry, Tony. I would agree with that, but I just got to pick you up on that point. I would agree with that. But in this case, this is not the white music industry. This is Jamaica.
Yes. But
this is Jamaica. This is the government of Jamaica who have issued this order of distinction. It's not coming from, you know.
But you've also got to remember.
Go on.
Sorry. So you've got to remember that we celebrated Jamaica's independence. All right. And we all know they're not independent.
Well, so I don't celebrate it anymore.
Well, what I'm saying is, well, I do because my mum does. You know what I mean? Bless her heart, right? But you know, so it wasn't the Jamaican government that was giving him that award. It's come from Britain, isn't it? It's come from Britain.
Here's the
because
thing.
They're not independent. Somebody might have just said, somebody might have just said, you know what? No, right. Would you please award our David Rodigan,
right,
coming from Jamaica?
Is that your Rusty Lee impression?
Yes. All right, I'm being a really bad girl right now. I'm being a bad girl. But
I think they're all valid points that both yourself and Tony have made, and I think that, you know, there is definitely a kind of a history of, you know, of our people. But this is the thing. I think, why do we have to wait for other people to recognize the greats in our industry? Why don't we just do it ourselves?
Well, we need a body that's going to take up the mantle and actually be responsible to do it. The late, great Tony Williams, he tried to put on he did put on a few awards, you know. There's been several people that's been trying to do awards for, you know, to cater for our greatness. But because I will say politely, the glass ceiling, for whatever reason, it doesn't go. I mean, the biggest one we had was the Mobos. and that got hijacked. So it's like, you know, if they can mow down, what was the city called? The Black City, mow it down.
Motown, Detroit.
Not Motown. No. You know where? Oh my God.
Oh, Tulsa.
Yes, Tulsa.
Tulsa.
All right? And we see this happening time and time again in its various forms. So until we really, really get some money and some power behind us, we're not going to be able to sustain anything. And even when we get the money and power behind us, we're going to get a fight as well. So it's not that, you know, we don't want to do it or we don't have the inclination to do it. We just can't seem to sustain it because. And that's all we need, is to be able to sustain something. And then we're away.
Let's just read a couple of these comments here. Cheryl Small, talking about Tony Williams, says Tony wasn't recognized either as much as the white man Rodigan.
100%.
100%. Yeah.
They were definitely equals in that time and era. They were. You couldn't listen to one show and not the other. As far as I was concerned, you had to listen to both, because both presented a different perspective of reggae music.
Definitely.
And both voices were genuinely
really good and
really good and in tune. And yeah, so, you know, he should equally be applauded as with David Rodigan, 100%. What else?
John Ashton says, listen, I'll tell you something. Play some great radio. Why not give the awards to some Jamaican DJs to get the award?
Barry G.
To be fair to you, John, Wee Powell from Stone Love a few years ago, I believe, got the Order of Distinction medal as well.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Wow, you see, this is the thing now.
You see.
We have to be fair when we talk about this. As I pointed out, the two controversies I have is that even Rodigan, has said on his own Twitter that he was surprised to get this award because he knows that this award is only for Jamaicans. So obviously, the Jamaican culture minister and the prime minister have gone out of their way to put a foreign national and give them that award. And you have individuals here, Jamaican-born individuals, who've also done much to pioneer reggae music, not just in the UK but also in the US. And I think someone, I can't remember who said it. Somebody in the comments talked about how Rodigan had the backing of, you know, the BBC to give him the money so he can pay for the dub plates to play, and you know it comes with all that.
It's called wages.
No.
But people were giving them to him free as well. People were giving it to him
because
free.
At the end of the day, you know that your dub plates are going to be heard all over the world. Yeah, why not? That's business. You'd be stupid if you had a dub plate and you didn't give it to Rodigan. You'd be a fool.
Right, but free dub plates come as a point of having a name already. When you're starting out as a sound or DJ, dub plates are paid for, and that money has to come from somewhere. And so you need those dub plates to basically establish your name. This is what happens. The point being is that from a resource point of view, the backers like these radio stations have the money to pump into that, to promote this person, to put them up there as a figurehead for whatever genre of music they want to put him up for. And I'm saying that this has a history going back, well, way back into the early 20th century, but more prominently with Elvis Presley and coming upwards. That individuals who have virtually mediocre and no talent are trained up, right, to perform. Then with much more practice, they get better, and then eventually they're called the king of rock and roll. When the real man who actually who he sounds just like, nobody knows about him.
That's right. You see.
So this is a history that happens within black music. That, like I said, the Bible says that you plant the vineyard, and next man's going to eat the fruit.
Yeah.
And
however, I still don't like this narrative. The fact that you're akinning Elvis Presley to David Rodigan, and who has David Rodigan copied? Yes, he's been mentored by lots of black reggae greats. He's been mentored by them, but you know, he's not a copycat.
Can I just say, in any case, it's not what David Rodigan's done for reggae music. It's what reggae music's done for David Rodigan. Think about it.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, who's Rodigan made a star? Who has he boosted? What has he put into the music? I mean, you know.
Okay, you know, it's a good question. Mary Ann Whittington says Barrington Levy is on record as saying that Jamaica owes Rodigan a lot, as he has fought to get reggae music played in the UK despite being constantly disrespected by the UK for being white.
Well, you can,
no, it's not, but look. Reggae music was in the UK way before David Rodigan. Pirate radio stations were beating reggae music. All right. When you talk about black music on a whole, LWR for one, we brought Capital Radio weren't playing Luther Vandross and Diana Ross. If they played any kind of black music, it would have been from Motown. We played Cheryl Lynn. We brought in, you know, Blackstreet and all of them, right? When it came to reggae music, we were doing the same thing. And all they did was to tune into the Pirates, picked out what, you know, or you know, tried to compete with us or get back some of their audience by playlisting what we were playlisting. If it wasn't for us, they wouldn't need a David Rodigan. If nobody was playing reggae music, they wouldn't need a David Rodigan. David Rodigan never come with him grip full up our records and knocked on a BBC door and say, or Capital's door and say, look, there's this new form of music that nobody has heard. Let me present it. No, we were there that forced the BBC and Capital to do a reggae show. So they took somebody that they could speak to, right? Rodigan speaks the language.
No, Rodigan's not the only black DJ. Rodigan's not the only reggae DJ that Capital or BBC have had. No,
they've had more. But listen to what I'm saying to you. The way it's sounding like Rodigan gave birth to reggae music in the UK.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
But the Barrington Levy, or the way it was said, right? It was to me. Well, we can watch this back. That's why I love Flimmy enough, right? It said
he said Jamaica owes Rodigan a lot. Has he fought to get music played in the UK despite being constantly disrespected by the UK for being white? It doesn't say that he was the first. It doesn't say that he was the only one. It's just saying that's what he did.
Yeah, okay. Yes, that's what he did to get it played on the BBC, not in the UK.
It doesn't mention BBC. You're assuming the BBC.
No.
You're making an assumption that it's the BBC. He doesn't say in what this person says. BBC is not mentioned. I'm listening.
It wasn't. No, but listen to me again, right? What I heard was being played in the UK enough, and we were bringing some of those artists over to perform. All right, I was there bringing some of those artists over to perform before Rodigan was on mainstream radio. Right, we were